questions or comments, I'll ask for a motion to approve the corporate claims dated January the 17th, 2017 in the amount of $386,262.01.
I'll make said motion, Mayor.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. We have no unfinished business to carry over from the previous meeting. We have several items under new business, and the first is to request to hire within the fire department. Chief?
Mayor and Board, I come before you today to ask for approval to hire Joseph Anglin. Joe will be a new hire for the Beech Grove Fire Department, bringing the number of sworn firefighters to 34. Joe is a certified paramedic and has completed all prerequisites for hiring and awaiting PERF approval. If approved, Joe's pay will be $2,009.87 per pay period and start February 13th, 2017. This position is in our 2017 budget. I do want to let the board know, since I wrote this letter and submitted it, Joe was approved by PERF, so that process is completed.
All right, Chief, floor is open for questions or comments.
Have none.
Amen.
Dan, financially?
No, I think everything's fine. This was a position that we put in the 2017 budget. I know we've got a little bit of overlap between the retirees and, but I think with the difference in pay, we should be all right on that Chimney Road.
Great, thank you.
All right, having said that, motion to approve the chief's request to hire Joe Anglin.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Congratulations, Joe.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Just a little quick background. Joe worked for IEMS, and this was probably quite several years ago, around 2006 or 7.
Easy now.
Worked down at Station 56 for IEMS, and then when we merged with St. Francis and partnered with them to provide services, he also worked for St. Francis and continues to work for them. Joe and his family's here, and Joe, if you want to say a couple words real quick, that's fine.
I just want to thank you guys so much for the opportunity to serve in the city that I've kind of grown up my entire career in. I started at Wishart and ended up on the ambulance that was here in Beech Grove when it was Chief Buckley, which I had a hard time still saying Mayor Buckley, no offense. But I've known you as Chief Buckley from the start of my career. Steve either, sorry, Chief.
I'm trying to remember, when we first started Wishart Medic 9, who was your partner? He was a Latino fellow.
No, it was you. Who was it? He worked for a short stint.
You know who I'm talking about?
What?
Who's the other gentleman?
Who was the other one? It was, so many years ago, so many names. I cannot remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
You know,
Ed.
when
Ed Ott, or not Ed, but Ed Castellano.
yes.
Yes.
When we first started Wishart Medic 9, Chuck Ford, I told Chuck, I said, Chuck, listen, this isn't really a popular decision, so you have to send me 2 guys who could get along with people.
We tried.
And they sent down Joe, so that tells you a little bit about Joe. Either that or Chuck Ford's nuts.
To be debated.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations, Joe.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Next on the agenda is request to hire full-time Public Works Department. Fran?
Good evening, Board. So this is a recommendation to approve the full-time hiring of Joe Ramey. It's my recommendation to the Board of Works that the city hire Joe Ramey as a full-time worker at the Department of Public Works. The position will be classified as commercial driver with a biweekly salary of $1,776.06. Mr. Ramey has worked at DPW part-time for the past 4 months and will be filling the position vacated by Chris Harper. Mr. Ramey will serve a 1-year probationary period. If approved, Mr. Ramey would be considered full-time starting January 18th, 2017, and there is money in the sewage works budget to fund this position.
Comments or questions from board members?
I have none.
Dan, any comment on?
Well, Brad, just watch out, don't train them too good, they'll end up fire department.
Seems to be the pattern.
Yeah.
We're going to make that a pre-qualification
You
there
know,
with the CDL.
One of the things that you did a couple years ago, and the clerk and the council was, they changed, they structured just like the police and fire as far as salaries for first year, second year, third year, and I think that's worked out very well. And it brings them up a little bit, and I just think it's structured much better than it was. So I appreciate that. Comments or questions? If not, I ask for a motion to approve the recommendation from the Public Works Director to hire Joe Ramey full-time.
That makes that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Next is request to hire part-time Public Works Department. Brad?
So that opened up a part-time position. This is a recommendation to the board that the city would hire Bruce Giffen as a part-time worker at the Department of Public Works. This position will pay $14.50 per hour and work no more than 29 hours per week, and there's money in the sewage works budget to fund this position. If approved, Mr. Giffen would start on January 18th, 2017.
Questions or comments from board members?
I have none.
None.
I think that I would recommend that we approve Bruce, but his brothers, we need to disclose that his brother's on the fire department. And I think that would make him ineligible to transfer over, wouldn't it, Chief? Could. So we just have to disclose that his
I need to hire brothers is what I need to do then, right? That way I can keep the brother.
So you're off the hook.
All right.
And financially, any
I
comment?
think we're fine in the sewer budget on this, so.
Questions or comments from board members? If not, ask for a motion to approve the director's recommendation to hire Bruce Giffen as a part-time worker.
I'll make sense.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Next up is hourly wage increase for part-time employees, Department of Public Works. Brad?
This letter is a recommendation to the board that the city increase the hourly wage for current DPW part-time employees from $14 to $14.50 per hour. This wage rate is reflected in the 2017 salary ordinance. There is money in the MVH budget to fund this increase. Currently, that would affect Chad Seward and Tom Hart, and that was passed with this year's salary ordinance. I wanted to get those guys up to the same level as what I'm hiring Bruce in at.
So it would be, who would it affect?
Tommy Hart and Chad Seward, they're my current.
And Bruce.
Correct, yeah, I hired Bruce in at that new
Okay.
rate as well.
Questions or comments from board members? If not, I'll ask Sandy, you abstain, please.
I abstain.
Need a motion to approve the director's recommendation.
I'll make that motion.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And I should have asked the clerk if I think it doesn't automatically go up, does it?
No, that's at his discretion, and same way with all the department heads, so as long as it's in the salary ordinance and we do not exceed it, there's no issue.
Very good. Next is, on the agenda is request for vacation day carryover, Department of Public Works. Brad?
I think this was a new one, based off the handbook that we accepted recently. And this is a letter writing to request permission for 3 employees to carry vacation time from 2016 into 2017. I had one employee, Dave Watson, that had been on workman's comp since September, and he had 6 vacation days that he was unable to take. So I'm requesting that he be allowed to carry those into this year. And then John Biggs and Phil Gerganis both had 2 days that they were looking to carry into this year as well, that they weren't able to get in. Sometimes weather affects us as the end of the year comes, and people have vacations scheduled. If we get ice or snow or something where people can't get those days in, then it's rare, but it happens. And I think now they would like for us to petition the board for approval for that to take place. So that's what I'm doing.
One of the new provisions in the employee handbook is that you just can't arbitrarily do it. The board has to approve it, which is a good fiscal policy. Floor is open for questions or comments.
None.
None, I'll ask for motion to approve the director's request to carry over vacation for John Biggs, Phil Greganis, and Dave Watson.
I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Brad, Dave Watson is back to work now.
Correct.
I received a letter, I thought.
He
as
came
of
back
January
last
the 11th.
Thursday. Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Welcome back.
Next up on the agenda this evening is Fire Department ambulance write-offs for 2016. Chief?
Mayor and Board, I come today asking for the approval of ambulance billing write-offs for 2016. MedBill has sent an attached summary sheet that shows the monthly itemized breakdown. The total amount of ambulance billing write-offs for 2016 is $3,009,121.20.
Thanks, Chief. Floor is open for questions or comments.
I have none.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could collect that?
Yeah.
Yes, it would be. And the majority of those numbers are from Medicare and Medicaid, where they just pay a set amount. So if you look through the adjustments, those are the definitive numbers that will not be able to be collected by MedBill. So you might see several $1,000s change for what was paid and the adjustments compared to the charges. Those are still outstanding balances, private pay, insurance, that we still anticipate to collect.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
And we do get a little bit of this back as far as the ambulance reimbursement that the fire department gets. I don't know how many years, I want to say 2013, we started getting the write-offs when we got the federal grant on that. It's not nearly or anywhere as close to this dollar amount, but every little bit helps. So they received it now for 4 or 5 years, so that's a good thing.
I think it's relevant to note that we collected like $1.25 million last year, which is really, really good.
Our ambulance billing, the collections have gone up over the last 5 years, pretty dramatic pace. And part of that is due to the run load that the guys are doing on the ambulance. We definitely appreciate the support of the mayor and the board for all the equipment, the manpower, the support. There's just so much that goes into our ambulance program that a lot of people don't realize the commitment that the city has towards providing that great public service. And I'd like to thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, so this invoice count, is that the total of runs?
Yes, it is,
Yeah.
for 2016.
Wow.
Those are just ambulance responses, or, no, we had like 4,600 ambulance responses and 3,600 engine responses.
Yes, and these are the billable runs. Our SORs, some of those don't get billed, so the actual number of runs is quite a bit more than what you see here.
Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the chief's recommendation to write off $3,009,121.20 in ambulance billing for 2016.
Make said motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
We have 3 3 handicap parking renewal applications for renewal this evening. 2 of them aren't in your packet, they came in today. So I'll defer to the clerk to read all 3, and we'll do them as one.
First one is James Vaden, it's a renewal, 145 North 8th. Tony Sy, 222 North 6th Avenue. And Tom Springer, 238 South 5th Street, and it's a renewal also.
All 3 are renewals. Any questions or comments?
None.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve all of the handicap parking permit requests submitted this evening.
I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Next order of business, I'll defer to the clerk. It's Uniform Conflict of Interest Disclosure Statement for 2017. Dan?
Okay, what we have here is just normal conflict of interest. It's for Lynn Reckowig, who is a battalion chief for the Beech Grove Fire Department. He also has done our IT work for a number of years. That's just standard statement, and I would recommend that you approve it.
Floor is open for questions or comments.
Have none.
Have none.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the Uniform Conflict of Interest Disclosure Statement concerning Lynn Reckoway.
I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you. There's a couple more items on the agenda this evening that came up that aren't on the agenda that we would like to see approved this evening. The first one is, we're going through a remodel downstairs, and it really looks nice. But a decision was made to replace the furniture downstairs. So a lot of it's up here. So what I would ask, and we don't have any paperwork on this, but what I would ask the board to approve tonight is to declare all of the furniture that we would dispose of as surplus, so we could go ahead and have DPW carry it out over the next week. That would be at least 4 desks. I have one 4-drawer desk or cabinet that I would like to dispose of. So is there anything else, Dan?
No, for the most part, all of our file cabinets we're keeping. It's just the units. Anything that we can actually use and there's room for, we're going to try to use. Until we start putting it back together, I can't tell you. Some of it's kind of fell apart when we were taking it apart, so we will use as much of it as possible.
So I would ask for a motion to declare the furniture surplus that we will not use, so we can properly dispose of it.
Make said.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. And the final order of new business this evening, board, and this is not in your packet, and it was just distributed prior to the meeting, is a purchase of property for the Churchman Sidewalk project. This has been a very difficult situation to get, and it's finally been resolved, and they want to close by the end of the month. This is the last piece of the puzzle prior to the construction of the sidewalks. So what I want to do is I want to defer to council for explanation and how we should proceed as a board.
Yeah, so it's the Churchman Sidewalk project, and there's a parcel of land near the Cambridge Square Apartments that we're gonna have to purchase. We're gonna do an eminent domain action, which would have taken some time and some money, but our outside counsel, Manny Hersick, who's from Lewis and Kappas, he does our real estate work. He's working with the owners of this apartment complex. It's called Glick Company, and the parcel of land was appraised by our engineers, United Consulting, at $19,400 just compensation if we had filed a eminent domain action. But Manny and Glick's General Counsel are working together, and what they would like to do is close by the end of the month. They want to enter into a quitclaim deed. And essentially what we need to do tonight is vote to give the mayor and our outside counsel, Manny Hersick, authority to enter into these agreements to close on this property.
Questions or comments from board members?
I do I need to write them a check, or how?
Yeah, I was talking to Manny about that today. Was this something that we approved last year, or is money gonna come from last year or this year? That's what we were trying to.
No,
Well, yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry,
Dan.
Dan.
No, go ahead.
it's, the council last year appropriated $200-some odd thousand for this project. And then Dan created a fund for it, so that money's in that fund.
For the year 2017.
Gotcha, okay.
But I guess my question is, if they want to close in a short period of time, do we need approval from the board for me
For
to
you to transfer the
issue
funds?
checks?
Probably. That's
Yeah,
probably part of
because
it.
I'm going to go ahead and set up the fund and put what dollar amount we have in it, but I gotta wait until the council meeting to get their permission to move the money around. But I guess what I'm asking you is, do I need permission
Yeah,
from
why
this?
don't we do that? Why don't we
yeah.
vote to give the Manny and the mayor authority to enter into the agreements, and then the second vote for you to transfer the funds. That's
Okay.
fine. And I'll have Manny work with you on.
Okay.
So Craig, what should be the motion?
Well, the first motion is to give the mayor and our outside counsel, Manny Hersick, authority to enter into these agreements to close on this property.
Okay, there's a motion.
I'll make
Right.
said motion.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain because I have to enter into the transaction. What's the next one?
Next one would be to give, for Dan to transfer the funds. Is that something the council's gonna have to agree to as well?
No, that's.
They've already done
Okay.
it, but I guess what I need is probably, because it is a contract form, whether or not I need permission from the board to go ahead and issue them a check.
Okay.
We should do that tonight. We should
Yes.
allow him to go ahead and proceed.
Yep.
And I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye and the motion carries. Brad, can you bring us up to date on the project?
This was, as you mentioned, the final piece, so to speak, of the puzzle. NDOT had moved our letting date back from February to March 1st, and that was the last chance we were going to have to let this project prior to fall. They don't let anything in April or May. Their fiscal year ends, I believe, in June, and then it kicks back off. They don't do anything in July, so it would probably have been September. And then, unfortunately, sometimes you don't jump right back in the beginning of the line. There was a chance we would have lost the project, at least for a few years maybe. So this was important that we got it done. This was a HUD property. First time I had ever experienced dealing with HUD on securing a piece of land that you need for this project. But the mayor was very helpful because I think he had contacted HUD through the grant with the community center, and that came into play and sped things up. So it's worked out, fortunately. There was a while there where we weren't really sure how it was going to go. So good to see that it's going to move forward.
I'd like to recognize also Manny, our outside counsel. He did an excellent job of pulling this together. Like you said, there were some timeliness issues.
Mhm.
We thought we were gonna have to file an eminent domain action, which would probably hurt us as far as getting this done
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, Manny was great. So it took a team of people pulling in the right direction to get it done, but it has, I think we've gotten the most important piece of the puzzle now solved. And now, next thing would be to let on March 1st, and then probably within 45 to 60 days, you'll see somebody out there working.
I think, something just registered, I think we should, the board should go ahead and make a motion to approve the clerk to pay the claim when NDOT bills the city of Beech Grove for their 20% match.
Mhm.
So I think we should do that this evening.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye and the motion all of that money was budgeted, and then when the project is let, soon after that, NDOT will send us a bill for our 20% match. And then we step out of the picture. But I think what's really good about this is, we're gonna get about $1 million worth of sidewalks. And, it'll be much safer going down Churchman Avenue, so, I was a little disappointed in our engineering firm, but, I'll take that up with them personally. Any questions for Brad?
I have none, thank you.
I appreciate everybody's work in this, so. That concludes new business. Did you have something, sir? Yeah, stand up at the microphone. State your name and your address.
My name is Don Huff, and I live at 48 Belle Fountain Street in Beech Grove, Indiana. And I'm here to kind of clarify and straighten out a matter that me and my fiance kind of messed up. We were supposed to pay the city of Beech Grove, I think, $246 in cleanup fee. And if anybody had any bad luck, from December to now, it's been us. I had a real good job going for me, lost my car keys, lost my job, high-paying job, and I'm just here to clarify that we missed it. She just bought the card out. She's kind of absent-minded. She bought the card out to me yesterday that we were supposed to be here on the 11th. And I just want to clarify that we're not trying to beat the city out of their $240. We just don't have it at the present time due to Christmas and to the worst luck that anybody could have.
I don't want to interrupt you, Mr. Robinson. Did you receive a ticket?
Yes.
So what you wanna do is you wanna appear in court, and if you have.
Well, I thought this is where we came before. And I just don't.
You had probably a status conference on the 11th?
I think we were supposed to pay the ticket by the 11th
Okay.
and then, or appear in court.
Right.
And we
So
missed
did you
that.
appear on the 11th?
Pardon me?
Did you appear at court on the 11th?
That's why I'm here today, because she just showed me the card.
Okay,
She got absent-minded and found the card in her purse.
What you wanna do is, you wanna contact, if you didn't appear on court on the 11th, you probably got defaulted, and
Yeah.
it'll go to collections.
I'm saying it got defaulted. We don't want to get in trouble.
Right. What you wanna do is,
We've got the money, the first of the month, it will be paid in full.
okay, why don't we do this, when the meeting's over, I'll talk to you, and I'll tell you what you need to do, okay?
Because
It's a court matter.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble or
Okay,
get
we'll
her in
figure it out.
trouble. We got the place cleaned up and everything else.
Gotcha.
When I'm just her fiance, and I've only been here in Beech Grove for less than 4 months and done dramatic changes to the place since I've been there.
Sure. I'll talk to you after the meeting, and we'll figure it out.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And I'm sorry for interrupting.
Nope. No. That concludes new business this evening. Comments from board members?
I have none.
I have none.
I do want to announce that I sent a note to the council today. We are going to have a city council workshop on Saturday, February the 11th at 10 a.m. here in these chambers. The public's invited, although we won't take comment from them. And the reason for the workshop is to discuss the our sanitary sewer system, and the rate increase proposed from Citizens Energy Group through the IURC. It's awaiting approval, so we're going to sit down with the council and talk about that. So I just want to disclose that. It's already been given public notice on the board, so we're going to have to sit down as a group and discuss how we want to proceed. So I just want to publicly state that, and we'll talk with the council at the next meeting, February the 6th, to remind them about it as well. So having said that, any other comments?
Thank you.
If not,
Yes.
yeah.
On this workshop, you might let them know there will be no decisions made at
Yeah.
that
Yep.
workshop.
And it'll be
So,
posted.
Yeah.
It's posted that We can only have discussion, we cannot vote on anything.
Right.
Okay, good point. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
The meeting is adjourned at
6:40.
6:40 PM. Thank you very